I'd like to welcome everyone to a short presentation on TronLoop.io. Let me start this slide and let's get started. Welcome to TronLoop.io. This is a circular system, and I'm going to do this PowerPoint presentation. Then we'll switch to the website. So if you're new, I'll hope to be able to explain it to you what this is. And if you're not new, you already know what this is, but I'm still going to reiterate a few points. My name is William, aka Captain Tron Loop. I sound like a superhero, but I'm not. I'm just a regular person. With my partner, we came to this concept, and we think it's a great concept. So your timestamp position entitles you in TronLoop to receive Tron or TRX deposits as the entire community grows. This is totally community driven, community based. Our global decentralized community members help each other simply by participating in the loops, what we call infinity loops, and everyone wins. Now, TronLoop is a system where we all need to act now to start multiplying our Tron membership deposits over and over again. What we've done last week, because we started about 2 to 3 weeks ago, but that we upgraded TronLoop and we apply what we call the 2080 rule. And the 2080 rule is a simple rule because what happened is that now TronLoop has an active side and there's a passive side. TronLoop started totally passive where there was no referral, there's still no upline, no downline, but what we decided to I would say, implement is a 20% rule for those who will invite people to join TronLoop and help the community grow. So if you help our community grow, regardless if you're a professional marketer or recruiter or just a regular person like me, and you're able to invite one or two or three or more, we will reward you instantly with 20% of any infinity loops that these people would join, and 80% of the rest goes in the infinity loops. And it's very powerful. I'm going to show it to you on the website a little bit more in detail. So like I said, 20% of the TRX deposited is rewarded one time to the inviter on all infinity loops, and 80% goes into the infinity loops. You're all about to understand in a few, but let's look at those infinity loops. We measure our infinity loops in TRX. TRX is the cryptocurrency of the Tron blockchain. So it starts at 250 TRX, and that's around $7 and some change. So it's really not much than 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, 32,000, which means 8 infinity loops. And the number 8 is very key because the 8 represents infinity. And if you add all these infinity loops together, it comes up to 63,750 TRX. When I'm done the PowerPoint, we'll go on a website to look at how much is that in real dollars. Now, check it out. Again, receive 20% payout on all referred infinity loop member packages. We've removed what we call the fear of missing out, or FOMO, because you will receive 20% even on infinity loops that you may not be on yet, as long as the person who is upgrading or paying those infinity loops has used your referral link to be invited to TronLoop. Very powerful. Let me show you how really simple TronLoop works. So first, deposit Tron into any or all infinity loops. Next, as the community grows, you'll be rewarded. Always, your first TRX reward is deposited to your wallet, as you can see in this quote unquote animation. The exciting part is that your second TRX reward allows you to loot. What it means is that this first transfer goes directly to your wallet, while the second one is used to bring you back in the loop. We call it Tron Loop for a reason. It's a circular system. The first shall be last and the last shall be first. Or you could call it like a straight line where everybody gets a turn and then goes back in line, like a paid forward, a spillover type of system over and over again. So as you could see, as you receive the second deposit, you are brought back in line so that you can help someone else again, and your loop repeats. So helping the community, you are re-entered to be rewarded again to infinity. Powerful, super powerful. Now again, these are the 8 infinity loops: 250, 500, 1,000, 2,000, 4,000, 8,000, 16,000, 32,000 TRX. Let's not forget. Very powerful. And we will continually receive automatic deposits and be re-entered to receive again for a lifetime. We call them infinity loops. They will not stop looping, and they will enable us to receive over 200%, 300%, 400%, or more of our Tron deposit. Will never stop. So one, choose deposit once into one, all, or multiple infinity loops, which means that you could start wherever you want. You could start with one infinity loop, you could start with several infinity loops, or you could be on all 8 infinity loops. Number two, wait to loop, which means that these infinity loops are based on a multiple of 2. Wherever you join, who you're helping is the person, quote unquote, that's ahead of you, half your ranking. And that person, don't forget, whoever's ahead of you will be behind you. There is no upline, there is no downline. And I said something earlier. Instead of waiting to loop, why don't you add people to the loops, which will enable all of us to loop faster? And then number 3, as you're looping or as you're receiving those 20% instant payout, tell everyone how much you've received so that they can join TronLoop and be rewarded as you. Simple. So we need to act now so we can loop our Tron. And then, folks, what we have is really, when you think about it, TronLoop really has no requirements. You don't have to invite. But if you don't invite, you'll just have to be patient. And I can't tell you when your turn to loop will happen. But what I can tell you is that if you invite someone right now, you will be immediately rewarded with 20%. And as we're adding people to the community, then the loops will accelerate. I could say even go faster, because we're not even much people, and we can easily double, triple, quadruple, make our numbers go 10 times, 20 times, 100 times more than what we are currently, because we just started. We're simply people helping people. So this is huge. Join our rewarding community today, tonight, this morning, wherever you are. If you haven't joined TronLoop, you need to join. And if you are in TronLoop, I personally tell you to invite people. You don't have to, but I'm telling you personally, if you want to really make this very rewarding for you and everybody else, invite. TronLoop is really quick, fun, and easy to participate. Simple, one-time infinity loop deposit. So step 1, you go to our website, which I'm about to show you, www.tronloop.io. Step 2, choose the infinity Tron loops you would like to make a member deposit into. I'm going to show that to you also. And step 3, complete the process by approving the correct amount of TRX deposited from your wallet to the TronLoop smart contract. Simple, folks, really simple. It's easy to get started. Simply choose one or more of the infinity loops. Very easy. Connect your Tron wallet. Could be Token Pocket, could be Tron Link, could be Tron Wallet. It's as easy as that. So the PowerPoint stops. Now let's go to the website. Let's look at the website together. Let's look at the website, our famous website, tronloop.io. Here's our beautiful website. I love the color scheme. My hats off to my partner, Professor TRX. Sir, brother, you did a great job. I really like this. It's beautiful, easy on the eye. We have a video I'll play towards the end, but let me, like we say here, anyone can participate by choosing any or all infinity loop packages. So now let's go to the bottom. Here are these loop packages. Here's that 20%, 80% I'm talking about. So how much is that in real dollars? Let's look at that. So that means anyone at this very moment, and I'm going to measure that in USD, anyone at this very moment could start as small as 250 TRX, which comes up to $8.54 USD. It's mind-boggling because Tron and the rest of the cryptocurrency world has just blown up in the last week or so. Everything went up, specifically Tron, because Tron, honestly, 250 TRX was around $7, and now it's $8. It's totally amazing. Let me just click on that. Let's just glance. Wow. Tron went up by almost 30% in the last 7 days, and over 16% in the last 24 hours. I mean, for a good few months, Tron was under 3 cents. It was always 0.02, and the last 4 digits were mostly the ones changing. But since the last 24 hours or 48 hours, Tron has crossed the 3 cent mark, and now it's 0.03. As you could see, it's changing by the second. So now that we know how much is 250 TRX, basically it's $8.54 at this moment. What is all 8 infinity loops? Because we want to maximize TronLoop. Yes, you could start at 250 TRX. Yes, you should get in where you fit in, but that's not, if you really want to change your life, that's not really going to change your life much, to be honest with you. So what's really going to change your life, if it's not all 8 infinity loops, then it would be, I would tell you, the last 3 infinity loops, the 8,000 TRX, the 16,000 TRX, and the 32,000 TRX. Let's do a few examples. Let's look at all 8 infinity loops together, which comes up to 63,750 TRX. At this moment, it's $2,178 US and 9 cents. We're going to round this to 2175 just for the example's sake. So 2175 represents all 8 infinity loops. Now, imagine sharing TronLoop with just one person to start who decides to join all 8 infinity loops, and you will be rewarded with 20% on all 8 infinity loops. And before I tell you how much that is, I need to specify that you may not be on all 8 infinity loops at the moment that you invite someone who joins all 8 infinity loops, and you'll still be rewarded 20%. We've removed what we call the fear of missing out forever. No one is doing this right now. I guarantee you that. Everybody else, if you're not on those levels, for example, if you're not on the 4,000 TRX and you were to invite me, you would lose out because you wouldn't get your 20%. In TronLoop, we've removed that. You will get your 20% all over the board, regardless if you're not on these infinity loops, because first of all, you would have want to invite that person to TronLoop, so we want to reward you for that. And second of all, we think that that extra 20% that you would get, or not extra, but the 20% you would get, would probably help you get on those infinity loops that you're not on yet. We think it's a win-win for both you and everybody else, because also you're adding people to the infinity loops. So now let's go back to the example I'm saying. So you invited someone who joins all 8 infinity loops, regardless if you are on those infinity loops or not, and you'll still be rewarded with 20%. And at this moment, that represents $435 US. Why not share with 5 people and be even and get back your $2,175 back if you were to join right now? Imagine you join right now, all 8 infinity loops, and you invite just one person and you get your money back before you even loop. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. Again, 20%. That's the active side of TronLoop. And the passive side is the 80%. So on the active side, you're being rewarded $435 on all 8 infinity loops. Now, why not share it with, you know what? I'm going to show a crazy number. Why not share it with 35 people? Why not? And pocket in your pocket 15,225 before you even loop. That's how powerful the TronLoop is at this moment with the upgrade we did last week and released it on Friday. In case you don't know, now you know. And knowing is half the battle. What's the other half? Fighting. Since you know what the first half is, you still got to fight. We still got to build this. We still got to grow as a community. Now, here's another scenario. Let's say you were not on all 8 infinity loops. Or let me rephrase what I'm saying. Let's say you invite someone who joins only the 3 last 8 infinity loops. That's 8,000 plus 16,000 plus 32,000. You know what I mean? If people are asking, what's the strategy? The strategy is to be on all 8 infinity loops or to be on the higher infinity loops, which for this example comes up to 56,000 TRX. How much is 56,000 TRX right now? 56,000 TRX would be around 1913. Let's round it to 1900 just for this example. So you got somebody who joins the last 3 infinity loops and it's about 1900 and you're being rewarded with 20%, even if you're not on those infinity loops. And that comes up to 380. Again, why not share with 5 people, if not 10 people, if not 15, 20? Let's push the boundaries. Why not share with 45 people? For the fun of it, 17,100 and the 20% instant payout while you're still waiting to loop. I think what we have right now is super powerful. Nobody is doing it. Don't forget, you're being rewarded on loops that you're not even on yet. We want you to be on all eight infinity loops. Not only that, we want you to have multiple wallets in the community and maximize TronLoop. TronLoop is something you've never seen. It's a circular system. The first shall be last, the last shall be first. It's not a matrix. It's not network marketing. It's not affiliated marketing. There's no products, there's no services. It's more akin to an age-old concept being practiced in places like Africa, the Caribbean, Latin America, maybe Asia. Some people call it a partnership, others call it susu. Whatever you call it, what we are showing you is on steroid. Yet it's so simple and it's fun, it's easy. All you need to do is choose an infinity loop, be invited by someone so that that person can be rewarded with 20%, and the 80% goes on all eight infinity loops. And for those who were there before we did the upgrade, if you have not paid some infinity loops yet, here's the great news for you who were in TronLoop without an inviter. Since you don't have an inviter and we don't have no one to give the 20% to, well, you'll only pay 80% on all infinity loops that you're not on yet if you were part of TronLoop before we upgraded, before we migrated from one smart contract to another smart contract. And I want to say something. Our upgrade came to be not because TronLoop was not working, but because we had to bring up active side of TronLoop. It was all passive. It was based on no referral, only a circular system where nobody was better than anybody else. And still, nobody is better than anybody else. It's just that if you can help us grow, you will be rewarded immediately, instantly, while the rest of the community will be rewarded with 80% as we're looping. And remember, it's a multiple of 2, and we grow. And how it works is that whoever's ahead of you will be behind you. It's a true pay it forward. It's a true spillover. And if you're a super networker, you can make a lot of money in TronLoop. And if you're just a regular person who cannot even invite a soul, just be patient. You will be rewarded on any infinity loops as your turn comes, because TronLoop is probably the only system where everybody will get a turn. There's no doubt about it. I just can't tell you if it's going to be today, tomorrow, the next day. But what I can tell you, if you invite people to the loops, you will be rewarded immediately, instantly, right now. No doubt about it. Amazing. So now that I said all this, let me just do a small recap before I look who's on the line. We weren't much, and then all of a sudden we got a few people. I really thank you for joining me on the line. So again, let's do a quick recap. TronLoop is a circular system. It's a community-based system. You gotta know that I'm not at the top. I'm like anybody else. When I loop, I go back behind the line so that I can help the whole community to receive. So basically, when you receive, you go back behind the line so you could push the community again to receive. Nobody else is doing that. Plus, you can receive on loops that you're not even on yet. So now we have a Telegram channel. On our channel, of course, you can't make no comments because it's a channel. And we did it purposely like that because I don't like spam. So because of that, our good friend Max, he created his own group called TronLoop Infinity. It belongs to Max. It doesn't belong to us. Yes, I'm an admin in that group, but all rights are reserved to Max. It's his group, which means that you can create your group. My friend Mark in Nigeria, he has his group on WhatsApp, for example. Anybody can have their own TronLoop group on Telegram, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, but we only have a channel. This is our channel. Because you know what, I cannot manage all the social media. I don't have all this time. It's community-based. You decide, but still you can get a lot of information here. If you're new, something else I want to show you, our YouTube page. This webinar is being recorded and will be uploaded. But yet I recorded a webinar about 3 days ago, and I like this. 91 views, beautiful, 37 subscribers. Keep it coming. Bring people to our channel. Now, you could use cornmeal.com for conversion purposes to know how much is Tron in USD, or you could find it in CAD, which for me, for example, in Canada, or you could find it in different other currencies. Let me just give you a sneak peek. Take, for example, right here, you could find it in Australian dollar. You could find it in euro, Ghanaian cedi, Indian rupee, Iraqi dinar, Japanese yen, Malaysian ringgit, Mexican peso, Pakistan rupee, Philippine peso, and pound sterling, and so on and so on and so on. And this is not the only website. You could actually Google like this. I mean, cryptocurrency is so accessible these days in 2020. If you don't know, now you know. CoinMarketCap.com, the leaders of telling you, for example, the top cryptocurrency or blockchain or whatever you call them, as we could see, Bitcoin is blowing up. Ethereum is over $600. It's mad. Over $557 billion invested in the cryptocurrency. And why are we on Tron? Tron is cheaper and faster. That's the reason why we're on Tron. And Tron is part of the top 20s anyways. There's a lot you can learn. You should do your due diligence. I love this world. There's a lot to learn. Here are the three key words for me: blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, smart contract. These three will change your world. Again, blockchain technology, cryptocurrency, smart contract. Now, if you are somewhere where you can't really get TRX that easy, simpleswap.io is probably one of the best. Maybe there's something better, but simpleswap.io I think is one of the best. So here's, for example, let's say you have one Bitcoin and you want to exchange it for TRX. I know it's a lot, but still, that would give you a lot of TRX, 535,000. But what about if you had, for example, one Litecoin? That would give you 2,608. What about one Ethereum? That would give you about 18,000 TRX. And what about one Monero, for example? That would give you about 3,800 TRX. So simpleswap.io is my recommendation. You don't have to use it, but that's what I recommend. Folks, TronLoop is really the system that's made for the community. And if you're new to cryptocurrency, I think it's a good entrance door to help you passively be part of this great world. Again, don't forget, 20% will reward you immediately. No joke. No, I mean, I don't know what else to say. There's not much more to say. Here's what I'm going to do tonight. With all due respect, I will not open the lines. I want this webinar to be clean in a sense that I want it to be short and sweet. I'm going to play our video, our main video, and this will be upgraded. By the way, we're going to have a voiceover in the next probably a week or so. We're going to make sure that the back office is more user-friendly. So the UI, the user interface will be upgraded. This will be removed, for example, all these little things, but they're not really important because the smart contract is the most important, and it works perfectly. It works so perfectly. I don't know what else to tell you. Except, follow us on YouTube, follow us on not Instagram, on Telegram, and use all the tools at your disposal. And last but not least, let's not forget that 8 infinity loops is around 2175, and your 20% would be around 435. And if you invited 5 people, for example, you would be even. If you invited 10, you would make 200%. And if you invited 45, 19,575. Take advantage of that 20%, help the community grow, and have a great Thanksgiving and Christmas. We just started. So again, this is William, aka Captain TronLoop, signing off for now. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time, and this is being recorded and this will be uploaded. So when you get the link, share with everybody. And remember, TronLoop did something that nobody else has done. We've removed the fear of missing out forever. Oh, last message. Frank, I sent you a message on Telegram. Check it out and reply to me so I can help you. God bless everyone.